Yeah, let's do it. It's right. Yeah, Xavier's late as always. No, we were just talking about the take on the 2025 season so far. First, Eric, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Happy to have you.
Thanks, thanks so much for having me, and thank you guys for accepting me in the bodybuilding community. I think I feel like an imposter every day, influencer bodybuilder, but it's been fun to be really plugged in, especially over the last 2 to 3 years. I followed every single show, so it's something. It means a lot to me. I'm very much so an enthusiast as much as I am a competitor. So I'm really excited about being here. I watched a lot of your guys' videos.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I'm surprised that you are so involved as a fan of the sport, following all the competitions and the standings, and who showed up and placed where. Um, but I guess I am slightly surprised because I figured you would just be, concentrating on your own career as most pros are. Like I have pros on, and they don't know what's gone on in the last, 6, 8 months of bodybuilding because they're so focused on their own career, right? Trying to make it to the Olympia or what their next competition is. But you seem to be a genuine fan. Like I found you in the comment section of my live stream last week, or yeah, last week, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe it comes from a little bit of that, right? Of not really maybe feeling like I belong. So I enjoy the fandom component of bodybuilding. Where I mean, if you told me like Eric, in 2 years you could potentially be a top five Olympia, I'd be like, good joke, yeah, like that's awesome. But so I think for me, I've almost enjoy that side of the sport just as much as the competitive aspect. And I've always just been somebody who loves the gym and has kind of find their way into bodybuilding over the last 4 to 5 years. And that's why I'm maybe I wasn't, one of these prodigies at 21, 22 because I was actually natural until I was 27 and then decided to go the enhanced route and I didn't start competing until I was about 30. So for me, I never really thought it was possible to become a top pro, and maybe it will be, maybe it's not. I don't know what's in the cards for me, but at the end of the day, I have a tremendous amount of respect for all the guys, pro, classic guys, even the some of those female competitors. I love watching and following the sport in general. So for me, it's just one of those things that if I'm going to watch YouTube, it's probably some sort of Marx Max Muscle. It's going to be a Yvonne bodybuilding. It's going to be one of your videos. Just kind of like coverage of the events, photos. Bodybuilding without borders. Buys and tries, seeing all the photos, zooming in, seeing if I can deduce what's happening. So for me, it's kind of like one of those things you can't control. Like you become a fan, and then it becomes a little pseudo addiction. So that's where I'm deep in it now.
Well, man, look, you're in the right place. Look, we'll chat about a few things for sure, but yeah, let's talk some bodybuilding. The Prague, Martin taking home the win. Honestly, I couldn't believe when Martin stepped on stage. Like, I heard a number of people say it, and it's absolutely true. When Martin walked out, and you could see the detail in his quads just from him walking from backstage, the second he hit that front double, I was like, this is not the same Martin Fitzwater. I've never seen it.
He looked absolutely tremendous, the head to toe. I think he's a very complete bodybuilder, and I really don't. I think it's a very I'd say maybe novice way of looking at a show when you say like how many poses did somebody win? Realistically, I think that when you come out, a lot of times you can see even like just let's say from the front relaxed or like their individual posing routine or when they pull into a back double. I think those like some of those like really the shots that mean the most, or just like how you look transitioning or how you look walking out means so much. And I think Martin was just so polished and so crisp. And yeah, sure, he's gets out muscled by Samson, but I think at the end of the day, not looking at pose for pose, if you just look at the polish of the presentation, what was brought to stage, I think that's where Martin really shined in that aspect of just the aesthetics, the dryness, the fullness. He just nailed the peak for sure.
It was absolutely night and day from what we saw, not just from 2024 when he stepped on the Prague stage, but 2025 at the Olympia. 2 short weeks to improve that much. I mean, man, absolutely insane. Samson too, crazy improvements in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So now seeing that, how realistic is it to find Martin in that top three at the 26 Olympia?
Ooh, top three. Well, it's not a fair way to look at it either. I don't feel. Um, like you said, going shot for shot is one thing, but when you consider the statistics of where everyone is kind of placing leading up to the Olympia, that is something that I do look at. But on paper, Martin should be right up there at this point. He should be. He just defeated Samson, who regained that fullness, and did show up a very similar shape of what he did. The legs were down a little bit, granted, from what we saw at the 2024 Olympia and Arnold Classic UK,
Yeah.
considered his best look. But really, if he can defeat Samson now, Martin is also going to be improved by 2026. I feel right. So he should be in the mix for top three. I mean, Hottie, everybody says that Hottie really hasn't been progressing over the last couple of seasons. Hottie really has been staying mostly the same. And one could argue that he's not as sharp as we've seen in, 2023, 2024 or 2023. So another reason that Martin should move up again. Derek has a ton of room to move as far as I'm concerned. I think Derek could definitely be improved, but top three, he's got a real good shot at it now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Hottie argument, I don't. I think Hottie 24 Arnold Classic is probably to me one of the best bodybuilding looks in the last maybe close to a decade. And I
Yeah,
think
I
that
agree with that.
it's unfortunately for him, every single time he steps on stage, it's going to be compared to that. So if he doesn't bring that or better, then it's always going to be a comparison to that. Because whenever you hit a mark like that, it's so hard because the judges a lot of times is it's a subjective sport. And what I've heard so many times is that they reward a lot of times the progress. So if you go to the judges and they give you feedback and they're like, hey, I need to see this come up, I need to see a little bit better, like let's say taper, I need to see more sweeping quads, and then you bring that to them, it's just inevitable, right? That they feel like they have some sort of like part ownership of that progress, right? So if now on the conversely they see that 24 package that he brought to Arnold Classic, and then if it's just not quite there, they're always thinking like, damn, this isn't the best hottie. And so to me, I think that I don't know if he's ever going to be able to match that look, especially now you're seeing the right leg start. It was very apparent to me. I don't know how everybody else was missing it. He walked out and I was like, whoa, I mean, that's very, that discrepancy between left and right leg is now becoming extremely apparent. And it was so hard for me to look away from it, especially in any of those front poses, front double, front lat spread, front relaxed. It was just my eyes were drawn specifically to that. It doesn't really show up in the back poses when he hits his rear double, rear lat, that right quad sweep, but it to me it was enough that it was glaring.
Well, Mark, what do you think? Can Martin defeat Hottie in 2026?
Yeah, well, the lag it's not getting any better, the symmetry. And I found Derek, his arm looked a little like the symmetry of his arm was down. So if both of those guys they keep going in that direction, you got to think Samson Prague probably would have got third at the Olympia, would he have not? Maybe,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
would have been higher, I think.
That's
Yeah,
that puts Martin in even better spot. But
Yeah,
look,
but then again, it's like it's relativity, right? I think that if like let's say they both showed up the way they did in Prague to the Olympia, the argument I think would be Samson would get a better like more of a look in that top three, but Martin
yeah,
was already kind of in that like 4 to 6, and I just don't think that it would have been enough to push him into that conversation. He might have been in that like top five. They would have maybe a five-man call out instead of
yeah,
four. I
yeah,
just don't see him realistically getting pushed above Andrew and above Samson in a wider lineup now. But if you go to Prague and now they're like head to head
yeah.
and he looks that crazy and they get that one-on-one look, it's so much easier to judge them against each other because you don't have all of these other things. You're judging 1 to 15. It's a
Different
lot
factors.
things to look at. So now you've got two guys that are clearly front runners in a show. You can really hone in and see okay, who's one, who's two?
Not only that, you're pumped. If they put you in the first call out at the Olympia, I'm sure Martin would have looked a little bit better at the Olympia. It's like Nick Walker, you could see that he went way down because he knew you're not even in the first call out. So your endorphins are down, everything's down. So
The
Martin
cortisol
knowing,
release, yeah.
yeah, Martin knowing that he's in a fight to win this one. He's going to be more juiced up.
So
No, that
let
is
me
that is
ask you
fair,
guys
yeah.
this. Based on what we've seen over like let's say the last 3 to 4 weeks, Prague Olympia, who do you guys have in your top 5 26 Olympia? Not you don't have to maybe put in any specific order, but I'd be interested to hear where you guys have it, maybe, or if you do want to order it, I'd be interested to hear that.
Okay, okay. Well, Xavier,
What's
you're
up,
late.
man? What's happening?
You're
What's
late.
up, Eric? What's up, Mark?
You're late.
Yeah,
You're
I
late
know. I
again. You're always
apologize.
fucking late.
I only found out about the time 40 minutes prior, though. To be fair,
Oh, dude, I
I thought it was
messaged you
later.
I messaged you yesterday. Come on.
You
He's
said you
down.
keen to do a podcast tomorrow, and I said, hell yeah. That was the whole
Yeah.
conversation.
I didn't say when.
No,
Oh, wait a
I
second.
assumed it was normal time. You go
Really?
check, go check.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I thought it
have
was going
to.
to be at 11 a.m. my time is 9:30. That's why I was like, oh shit. But yeah,
It's easy for me and Kirsten. We're just an hour away.
yeah, that makes it easier.
Just down the road.
But in terms of what's up, Eric, as well, and what's up, Mark? In terms of a top 5 next year, I think Andrew Jack's like right in there now because there's a lot of talk, obviously, online, and just going off photos, and photos isn't the same as being there. And I know people in person were a lot higher on Derek than they were online. Like seeing it online, you can pick apart Derek, I think, a bit more. Were you there, Eric?
I was
In
there, but I
person?
was not in person. I was watching the stream just because I wanted to do like a reaction video, so it's obviously a lot easier than because on the way out of those things, I'll usually get caught up for either talking to people I know, getting photos with people, that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Yeah. It sort of hurts you going to the contest, actually, like covering it sometimes, I think, like compared to just being online at home. So, yeah, I get that. But yeah, I think Andrew will be right in there. Like Hardy, like you guys said, like that leg, if it's getting a little bit smaller and it doesn't, unless he can do something, whether it's like a nerve thing, maybe stem cells, who knows if that could be something that could help correct it. So I know with Rami, he had that inflammation around his elbows, they said, and he was getting like very little tricep activation. So maybe there could be something there with that. But with age, and you can sort of see a little bit, I don't think it's showing itself too much, but like that little bit of retraction on the tricep, like where he's got a bit more sort of, you notice in especially white dudes as they get like older, they get that, it seems like their biceps and triceps sort of recede up their arm a little bit. And it doesn't seem to happen with dark dudes. I don't know, black don't crack or something. I don't know. But yeah, I just think Andrew Jacked will be right up there. I think we could see like an Andrew Jacked, Sampson, and Derek, Martin. Shit. It's hard to say, man, because like Nick Walker, everyone writes him off after the last Olympia, but if I think he's gonna hone in on that waist now. Like I heard him say he doesn't do vacuums and stuff. I'm like, if I was Nick, I'd be doing everything I can to keep that waist small. Yes, he needs to be like the massive freaky Nick, but at the same time, you can still try to do both at the same time as best as possible. So I think Nick could even potentially factor in there, but it's hard to say.
You don't think that the fact that Nick brought his like biggest ever and was unsuccessful, that doesn't tell you that it was like how many times have we seen guy kind of like go to that extreme of let's say size and then come back down and be better? Because I think then everything but sometimes it does come back, but like usually it's like everything but the waist kind of comes back. So in terms of like size, if we're gonna downsize. So do you think that this Olympia was telling of, okay, Nick's has like almost maxed out his frame, but it didn't necessarily provide a better look because everything's proportions, right? So if like the legs are a little bigger, but the waist a little bigger, and the lats are a little bigger, but the waist a little bigger, then everything kind of like looks almost the same if you take everything into consideration.
Yeah, well, I think with like Nick and Derek, I think a massive thing for them, like sometimes you can look at their physique and be like, okay, they look much better. And like you look at Derek from last year's Olympia, and then you look at him at the Arnold, and everyone agrees the Arnold was better. But when you look at that actual Olympia version, you go like you sort of look at it and you go like, what's the big issue? And the only thing really is the leg size. Like he was in great condition at last year's Olympia, maybe a little bit fluidy, didn't have that like crisp look, but I think a lot of it is proportion. So with Nick, like if his quads are the same size, but his waist has come out an inch each side, it just throws off the whole look. Like I was looking at Nick and I was like, what's really wrong? Like I could just tell it just didn't wow me when he came out on the stream. And I was like, no, this isn't quite like the Nick was hoping to see. And I couldn't put my finger on it exactly what it was. And mostly I think it just came down to the waist and stuff. So if he can, I don't know. Like I don't know if Eric, you probably have a better idea, man. Like I don't know if guys wear waist trainers or that much in the pro league, but that might be something maybe. I don't normally would recommend that, but
I think like if we look at it just straight up, if you look at Martin kind of like relaxed, but then you see him pull a vacuum, it goes from like not aesthetic to like crazy taper aesthetic.
yeah,
It's just it's a, it's like people don't really understand. Like if you don't work your transverse abdominis, then you're not going to be able to like draw in, and all you can do is kind of crunch down. And have you guys seen if like let's say Nick had good Vito's vacuum? Have you guys seen those comparisons?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Superset Man, I think made one.
It looks insane. It looks like holy crap. Like and I don't know what the reticence is, or maybe it's just like gone too far that the like pulling a vacuum is too hard at this point. But I think it's just practice, right? Like if you really strengthened the transverse abdominis as much as he trains his abs, like he does a lot of like flying or like leg raises, stuff like that. And that's why his abs are so like crazy blocky. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your abs are defined, but they're kind of protruding. If you have a guy that's next to you that's pulling a deep vacuum, their waist is probably going to get pulled in, let's say 2 or 3 inches. And that's a huge difference when it comes to how the whole physique flows and comes together.
Here's what I would do if I was Nick, okay? Here's what I would do. I would contact Charles Griffin.
Charles, yes.
Yeah, Charles Griffin. I was going to mention that.
And
words out of my mouth.
And I would also contact Hunter Labrada because it was Hunter that contacted Charles. So you have the original guy to pull the vacuum in the open, okay? And Charles is still going, man. He's working on putting more size back on now to compete. He's working. Nah, he did. No, he's putting size back on now.
I thought he retired. I thought he made an announcement that he retired.
Yeah,
Charles
100%.
Griffin?
He announced it like
Did
he?
Maybe not. I don't know. I thought he did.
No,
Yeah, well, I would
always.
I would. Regardless, I would still get a hold of Charles. Griffin. He was the original guy, absolutely. Right?
Because back in 2018, if you've seen him, he did not have that vacuum.
Hunter. No, you can't. It was Hunter that Hunter got a hold of Charles, and Hunter did it. I mean, Hunter improved his midsection, and Hunter had a significant improvement. I think it is very safe to say, right? So I think it could be done. I don't know how substantial it would be for Nick at this point. It may not be that substantial, but any amount of improvement is really going to, I think, look really good on Nick, right? Anything he can do to bring that in.
Phil Heath, 2016 to it was 14 to 15. Those 2 years, if you look at Phil, he had one of his best midsections in 15 and one of his worst in 14. So whatever he did, if he can do that, Nick can do it.
Yeah.
Rolly Winkler too. Rolly, same thing.
I've done vacuums before for prep, and it's like I was shocked at what it did. Like I just did vacuums every morning. I think I did like 3 to 5 rounds, just like pulling it up, and I just even put my fingers like under my rib cage, and I couldn't believe how small my waist got. I was actually in shock compared to like the prep prior where I never did vacuums ever before, because I was like, I've got a small waist. But as I put a little bit of size on, I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit like just thicker now. And then I did the vacuums the next prep, and it blew my mind how much vacuums helped. So I'm sure like just most guys probably just don't do them,
I mean, the way I look at it is this, right? So, like, let's say you're kind of like always bowed out like this from your stomach perspective. You're eating a lot of food, like you're training hard, you're pushing out, and then you train the opposite, right? So let's say you keep training the extreme this way, and now you're like pulling in, pulling in, pulling in. So maybe your homeostasis where you sit is more like this than that, right? And then you're able to draw in much deeper because now you have the strength there and the conditioning to pull that vacuum. So I think it also benefits you when you're just standing there because you've almost like trained it in the other direction. So instead of like sitting like this at rest, now you've kind of like gotten it more like this. So maybe it's not like completely flat, but now you've gotten it so you can kind of have it easy to draw in, and then you're not like kind of what's up, man? You're not distended when you're just kind of like walking around on a daily day basis. I know a lot of guys will actually pull at least like a few vacuums after every meal, which I don't think is 100% necessary, but I think it's just a constant reminder being draw in so that you don't let that like abdominal wall kind of continue to relax and expand.
It's like they don't take it seriously. It's like they need to believe in it or they won't do it.
And I think that for a lot of bodybuilders, it's a yeah, it sometimes, especially for open, it doesn't seem like a necessity. It just seems like almost like a classic thing, or it's not real bodybuilding. So I think it takes a little bit of that mindset shift. And now you see so many more of the open guys pulling a vacuum. You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
more.
Top
Uh,
three guys almost pretty much.
Hottie pulls one, especially in his front poses and front relax. I mean, you can see his like how much better his flow looks, Hottie, when he pulls up, he draws up and he gets that crazy,
Yeah.
you know, like chest open and his physique flows a lot better with the vacuum than when he crunches it down. And it looks crazy when he crunches it down, but it looks
Yeah, he
better
used to do it that way.
with the
Yeah.
side when he shows like intercostals and obviously that side like the conditioning there than if he like pushes it straight down.
Or they don't even
Yeah,
have to hit the pose. They could it's good to practice, I think, just for
That's
the abs itself, even if they don't want to hit it on the stage, or if you don't look good, some physiques don't look good with a vacuum. But I still think it helps the abs and everything.
you
yeah.
see the work that like Brett Wilkin does too. Like his abs are like on, and he can pull that vacuum as well. And he does a lot of ab work, like morning ab work too. So like when in the morning, like that's when I used to do my vacuums, and it's like you realize how much flatter your stomach is, but you can control it so much better. Like I wouldn't want to do vacuums after a meal. I know, like you said about Eric,
No,
like some people do that. I'm like, I'd feel terrible because
remind
you
you
can
to do
feel
it.
everything when you do that.
But then again, it's like almost when you think about it, you don't usually hit the stage with a completely empty stomach, especially as an open
That's true.
bodybuilder. You're hitting it after, let's say it's a 12 p.m., you're on the stage, or even like a 7 p.m., you think you're fasted. No, you're probably 500 carbs deep. Like you should probably be able to like control midsection after you get food in. So it's like you have to start thinking about these things about what is the reality of your situation when you step on stage. Are you going to be fasted? Probably not. So it might
Yeah.
behoove you to do them
Exactly.
after a meal because then you're going to be used to it. Then when if you go to show day
Mm.
and you're like, oh man, I've never pulled a vacuum on anything but an empty stomach, so it doesn't look as good as when you anyway because you've always practiced it that way.
It's like
Yeah,
training at
totally.
night.
That's a good
Some
one.
guys train at night. Like Phil Heath always trained at night, he says. And it's like, well, that's why he was so good because they compete at night. So you got to
Mm.
train your vacuum with a full stomach, I guess, because you're carved up.
What do you
Could
guys think
be.
about all the coaching drama recently?
There's been a lot of it, hey.
It seems to be compounding, we'll say. I think this is a lot going on at one time, so it seems like it's pretty substantial. I don't necessarily know if Nick leaving his coach Kyle, given the fact that they had this one bad showing, was necessarily the right move. I think that him saying, I was surprised when he said that he didn't like his Pittsburgh Pro look, because I went and looked at the footage again of him between, like him standing next to Derek. And I mean, everybody walking away from that show said that he defeated Derek essentially. And Derek just won the Mr. Olympia. So the fact that Kyle is not maybe as experienced as Nick would have wanted, these things took place very shortly after the Olympia as well. So I feel like Nick maybe could have taken a little bit more time to consider, what he was going to do there. but ultimately he's making the right decision what he feels for his career, and that's fine. I respect that. With James, it seemed like it was because I watched the podcast. I'm sure you guys saw it too. Chris Tuttle and Kyle was on it. It seems like James just didn't have the best communication, but he admits to not having the best communication. So again, the public perception I think was not great there, and obviously Chris Tuttle wasn't happy with what went down. So unfortunate circumstances there as well. But again, everyone's like, well, James has been through so many coaches. Yeah, he has. So was anybody really surprised at this point? I mean, I really wasn't. Is it the best thing for his career? Maybe not. But surprised? Not necessarily.
You have to understand, like, yeah, it's like you can only, probably with somebody like that play the victim as far as like it's the track record, right? And you weighed the options, you weighed the upsides and downsides, right? You're like, oh, I know James is very popular. He's got a big audience, especially in the UK. He's like the Shed. I'm gonna get obviously some recognition for coaching this guy. And then maybe deep down, you're like, oh, I hope he's a little bit more loyal, changed a little bit, whatever it is. Um, but then you've understood the risks, right? I think with somebody who gets burned by like this, when it's somebody that doesn't have the track record, I feel worse for them because then it's like, oh, that sucks because they were just genuinely trying to help somebody that they thought was in their corner as well. But yes, it's like you date the girl that, is 100 X's, you're probably going to be one-on-one, right? It's like you gotta understand the risks.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think
It's
I
sorry.
think James is a really good guy. And I think that, I know it seems weird to say that, and I've spoken to him, but it's one of those things that when I think, moves on from a coach, I think there's an avoidance there instead of a malice of wanting to maybe just like, say like, fuck you, I'm gonna move on. I think it's more of like, damn, I feel really kind of guilty about moving on. I'm gonna move on because I want to, but I don't want to have that conversation because it's too hard for me. Instead of just being like, oh, I'm just gonna post and it'll be fun for me to like for him to find out that way. So I think that's like something that
You've nailed it,
James
man.
that's
You've
something that he
nailed
has
it.
to work
Yeah.
on, but at the end of the day, I don't think it comes from him being a bad person. It's just more of an avoidance for him more than anything.
Yeah. No, and you could understand that, from James. Some people have these things they need to work on. I'll have moments where I'll see a work email come in or something, and I'm like, ah, man, like, got so much else to deal with already. Like, I'll let this one go for another day or two when I really should be responding, honestly. Um, it, everybody could have things like that they need to work on. Ultimately, I think that James is going to, continue to compete. And I heard some people calling for him to retire, which I couldn't disagree with more, honestly. This whole notion of fans saying, well, they're coach hopping or they're not bringing their best. Or my favorite is with Samson. Well, Samson now lost the last 3 shows in a row. What's he gonna do now? Samson's done. I was like, Samson's not
Well,
Samson. Like, it's ridiculous. Some of the conversations that take place like that. Samson, look at his last 3 shows. Second at the Prague Pro, okay, to a top 5 Olympian. Fourth at the Mr. Olympia, first column, right?
it's pretty
What,
good.
what, yeah. Why would a guy like this retire? This guy is at
Second at the Arnold.
why would you retire just because you're not winning? I know that you were Mr. Olympia. It's a high standard, but I think that's a narrative in bodybuilding that I would like to see change. I would like to see people not jump to that notion of, well, he was Mr. Olympia and now he's not winning, so he should retire.
Doesn't matter
This
anymore. Derek won the title after he lost it.
Yeah,
It's the time.
exactly.
It's the
about that
time when
too.
that stuff happens.
Yeah, you're right about
He
that too.
was only the second guy to do it after Jay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
guys have retired and came back and won it, but never lost it. Arnold and Franco both left and came back and won it.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I think
Only the second to be beaten,
that's
I
different.
think.
I'm talking about like, yeah, like it was
Jay's the
continuing.
only one. Jay's the only one to lose it in the Open anyway. They've done it in other
yeah,
divisions, but never Jay. Him and Jay are the only ones.
yeah. I was thinking about that actually because Jay won his title back the year after, and Derek actually took a couple of years to do it.
Well, no, just the one, right?
Was it just he lost it and then it was Samson? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's
He
right.
won
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
2023 and 24. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was just the 2 years. Yeah, yeah, it's not that much of a
It
gap.
would have been more
Never mind.
impressive if it had been the 2 years.
Mm.
And
Like
Jay
if
showed
Hardy won
up.
it next year.
What if Hardy won it? Ooh,
It'd be 3 years.
Because that'd be like
twist.
3 years. Yeah.
How likely
That'd
do
be
you think
impressive.
that is to happen, though?
He probably
Not too
should have
long.
had
I feel like
five titles by now. Don't you guys think he
yeah.
should have 5 titles by now?
I don't know about 5, but he should.
19?
I think honestly,
19?
19 when he got
21?
third, he was
21?
overlooked. Yeah, he
21?
could. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
23,
you could argue that. I can see a
22 he
comparison
won.
coming again.
23, 24.
One of those Olympias
Maybe
he
not
showed up.
24,
I remember
25.
he got his visa late. One of those Olympias. I
That was
remember
20.
prejudging he was.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
20.
okay. Yeah, he
I
wasn't
didn't
good
count
as good
that.
at prejudging. And finals, he came back like very competitive.
He got fourth. He didn't even get 3. He didn't even get third that
Oh,
year.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, was that Phil?
He
Phil was
placed
in
fourth.
third.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people
that's right.
forget that had he placed fourth.
Mm.
I
I
think
feel like
he's
everyone forgets that Phil Heath package.
yeah. I mean, honestly, Adi is like one of the most like prolific, consistent bodybuilders of
Very
like probably
consistent.
the last decade. And and yes, I'm not going to speculate on the whole politics of he's not American and he's, from a controversial area of the world. I'm not going to speculate on any of that. But in terms of pure physique and consistency of showing up, I don't think you can argue in the open anybody has even come close to him in the last decade.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear cut victory in that sense, and I'm a huge fan. I think that he's uh he's like one of those like really hardcore old school bodybuilders that you can just tell like that's all he does. It's just he does some photos and stuff here and there that he has to. I think he's got a little ego on him, which is fine, but in terms of like the consistency and wanting to show up his best every single time, and you see him in the gym like 2 weeks, 3 weeks out doing like drop sets with like on the Smith machine starting at 6 plates, and you're just like, yeah, this guy is insane. I love it. But is that the smartest thing to do? Probably not. But who cares at that point? Because it's like it's just fun to see somebody who's so dedicated to the craft and just wanting to do whatever it takes to win. I think that he has that almost more than anybody. I see that kind of like in Nick a little bit. I think within the confines of what he's comfortable with, though, I think Hottie's just kind of like let's just send it and see what happens. And I think that mentality I think is kind of cool from afar. I don't think I would be able to emulate it, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's called built different, man. These guys are built different. They really are. Yeah. What about you, Eric? Do you have any plans to compete again in the near future?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the probably Cal Legion in Toronto in 26. So right
Oh,
now,
really?
Nice.
3 good
yes,
shows, man.
I
Okay.
mean Cal's a no-brainer. It's probably an hour from my house, and then it just times out that Legion and Toronto are right after that. And it's not like I'm trying to like eye weaker shows for myself. But the goal is to qualify. I do want to. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't want to say I'm going to. I would be more like knowing my personality. I would be more likely to say I'm not going to. But I just want to have that as a as a goal I've set for myself. So I'm gonna probably progress through the end of the year, try to stay as tight as possible, and then start prep probably in January for those. They're kind of like May June shows.
It's a
Nice,
hell of a
man.
thing, man. Going from 3 shows in one season to. I remember there was one point where you said that you were thinking about quitting bodybuilding altogether.
I did actually. Yeah, yeah. In 24 after USA's,
Yeah.
I did Vancouver Pro qualifier and got second in the overall for the third year in a row, trying to go pro. And then I went to USA's and the feedback was like, come tighter. And I just destroyed myself. I was like two for 2 weeks. It was like 1,600 calories, 2 hours of cardio. And I think that like my physique just got, I just lost it. I just, lost the script, lost the plot a little bit, and my physique flattened out, and I wasn't able to kind of come back my best. And I think that's where I got in that mentality of like whatever it takes. I was like going hypo. I was going hypo on cardio, like falling out. I was bad. And that was when I was like, what am I doing? I have a successful, social media presence. I've got a family that counts on me. I've got all of these things that don't necessitate me trying to get on stage. And then the reason I was doing it was because I truly love it. I wanted to see what I could do. And it wasn't a performative thing to try to get a pro card so I could have that to like hang my hat on. It was literally because I follow the sport so fervently, as you guys can tell. And then just to be able to be up there, like being at the Toronto Pro the next weekend after I got my pro card, being backstage with like Sauce and Regan and all those guys, it was like, whoa, this is so weird. It's so cool, but it's also so weird at the same time. And I just felt like a little kid like let into into the ball game and got onto the field somehow. But yeah, no, there was for me, I had to kind of find my way back into it of okay, I just have to just continue to bodybuild for myself. And that's what I did after the 24 show. I just kind of kept training. Obviously very low on the anabolic front, and I just want to be as healthy as possible. And I kept growing and I was like, oh, like that's cool. I'm still like in great shape. And then Arnold was coming up in what was it, 2020, early 25, yeah. And so that's when it was like 8 weeks out, and I texted Callum, my coach, and I was like, sent him some photos. Like, do you think we can make it? Because I was just already kind of lean for fun. And he was like, yeah, we might as well just give it a shot. So that's what I went, and I almost did it again. But that time I had such a different mindset. I was so happy to be there. I didn't have any expectation of winning. And then I almost beat Anthony, who was like a 280-pound dude on stage, looked crazy. Um, and then I was like, you know what? Let's give it one more shot. That's why I went to Mexico and got it, and then went to Toronto and got fourth the next weekend. So I just have a different mindset around it. I don't put pressure on myself anymore. I just want to be the best version of myself. Sure, I have the goal of qualifying because I have goals. If I go and I look my best, if I look 10% better than I did last year and my posing is better and I feel better about it, then I will be so happy. I won't be upset if I get seventh place behind a bunch of really good guys. That's fine for me. I'm happy with that.
Well,
Do you
let
think
me
your
ask you.
Toronto look was your best look?
Mhm.
Do you think your Toronto look was your best look? Because you looked awesome there, man. Like you looked bigger than I even expected as well on stage in the pro league.
I would say it was close. Yeah, yeah. I think it was
Mm,
probably my best look. I think I got a little tighter from Mexico. I think
yeah.
we spilled over a bit, and then I just literally drilled cardio that week, and I didn't even have a cheat meal after the Mexico show because the goal was to go to Toronto the next weekend if I did get it. So got right back on it, got back to LA on the assault bike at 4:30 in the morning so I could be ready to help out with the kiddos when they woke up. So, and then 3 or 4 days later, I was much, much tighter. So I think then we filled appropriately. We kind of front loaded our fill and then just did very moderate carbs leading into the show. And I had a better look, better midsection control. Because that's for me, it's just going from so little food to then slamming 1,000 grams, 1,200 grams of carbs a day for 3 days. I think that's the hardest thing. I don't think my digestion can really catch up. And so I have like a lot of just like food sitting in my system, lower GI wise. I think that's what is the hardest thing for me to clear quickly on those. Like when I go from eating like very low prep food to then that crazy jump. Even though it's not like cheap food, it's like literally like, you know, rice. I try to do some like very low volume stuff, honey, things like that. But it's just for me, I think it's just too much. So we just did like kind of a moderate 750 day and like a 500 day, and then the day of the show was pretty much like one small meal before stage. And I think that's probably the recipe for me because like the conditioning is more important for me than the size at this point.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good look. It's a good look, man.
Thank you, man. I really
Well,
appreciate that.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You say that your mindset changed, after you went and you got your pro card, but it's one thing for the mindset to change, but you still would have had to find, a certain balance between some of the things that you mentioned, the social media following and being wanting to be an active parent and partner, and obviously being co-owner of Harder Than Last Time supplements, coach. I mean, where did you find the balance in order to say, you know what, this is something that I still think I can go after to try and, get my Olympia qualification?
I try to be as multi like I try to multitask with everything I do. So the way I legitimize bodybuilding is like it almost like helps my brand. 'Cause if I'm have a goal, then I can train harder, and then it helps my training videos. So maybe it's a cope, I don't know, but probably for me, it's just trying to figure out, okay, how do these pieces all align so that maybe it's not a one to one. Maybe my doing bodybuilding doesn't one to one help HTLT or help the coaching business or help my new equipment company, but maybe it's like an adjacency enough that it allows me to have those goals and still have that spill over into something that's maybe financial, or maybe me giving myself this allows me to be more present with my kids when I go and pick them up after this podcast because I have something that's mine, and then it allows me to turn off because I don't feel like I'm lacking fulfillment in my personal self that I can then put my phone down, be comfortable with that, be at peace, and then spend the rest of the evening with them and not feel like I don't have something that's mine because then I'm like really not there for them either.
There's your balance, man. That's your balance. I understand what you mean with trying to multitask. I spent a long time actually justifying the amount of time I was putting into my training as to, well, then the better shape that I'm in, the better diver I can be. The better shape that I'm in, the better company owner that I can be. I'll be more aware. I'll be more able to handle these stressors that are inevitable to pop up in day to day life. I don't know how much you necessarily know about me or what I do. I own a commercial diving company, so it's quite quite taxing physically, right? Like I've got to dive tomorrow. I'll be underwater for 3 hours working on a marine railway. It's a lot of slugging is what's coming up, right? But you do find balance that way in being able to have the relation. I even look at it because, I mean, I've done a number of things, right? I was a correctional officer. I worked in sour wells and oil and gas, commercial diving, all of those things. Actually, when I started running this company, I was like, well, safety was a big thing in all of these things. So I was able to use some of my safety background, all of that experience correlated into one. Same thing with YouTube. I was editing all my diving videos, myself, right? So there
Yeah.
was my video editing experience that I gained, and that translated over to YouTube. And both of them play very well off of each other now. Like you're right. That part of that balance is being as efficient as possible.
I think it's all about everything in life can be taken. I just watched actually, and rest in peace to him, but I watched the Dallas McCarver. I don't know if you guys saw, like somebody made like kind of a YouTube type of documentary of his life, especially in like the bodybuilding center. It was like 30 or 40 minutes. It was actually pretty well done. Um, and I think it's just that like bodybuilding can be extremely destructive, but it can also be something that brings value to your life, and it's just about how you approach it, right? Like you approach it with the mindset of, okay, my whole existence is my physique and how much muscle I have and how big I am, then yes, it can be extremely destructive. But if it's, hey, I want to see myself progress, I want to do well in the gym, I want to, do it mindfully so I can still be around for my kids, I think then, yes, I think any type of androgen use is inevitably going to be dangerous. But there's there, there's a spectrum to it. You could have, you know, a drink on the weekend, or you could drink a bottle of vodka a night. There's always in between. It's not either on or off. It's
Mm.
not a switch. So that's the way I kind of look at it. Is everything in life is can be used in a positive or a negative. You can do like apply that to literally anything, religion, your, your work ethic, whatever it is. Like it can be driven in any direction you want it to be.
Yeah, there's 500 megs and then there's 5,000 megs. Like,
Yeah,
I've
that's right.
heard some crazy shit, man. And then I've heard of guys like, like famously, like I think it's sort of talked. I don't know if it's talked about a bit, but at least in bodybuilding circles, that Flex Lewis didn't use a lot in terms of milligram usage, and this guy didn't use it. Like Evans Stepani apparently didn't use a huge amount. But then you hear of other guys, and I won't mention names there, but you hear of some stories, and you're like, holy shit! Like how are you alive, bro? Like it's it's not just you're on and it's dangerous, because people do replacement therapy and stuff. So it's like, yeah, there's a wide scale there.
For anybody watching, I'll tell you firsthand that the guys that you think are using the most, the top guys, the cycles I've heard are literally a drop in the bucket compared to some of these amateur guys that are literally just trying to make it.
Yeah.
And the more I've learned over time, and I hate to say this, like you either got it or you don't. Like you've got either a base, and that's why when I show people pictures of myself when I was like 25 and natural, they're like, "Oh man, you look better than I would ever look enhanced."
Yeah.
And I think that if you have something that you could build off of, then it's going to it'll only look as good as your genetics will allow. And so a lot of guys, unfortunately, don't have it, and then they'll try to throw 4 times as much at it to try to have it. Whereas you've got probably guys like Samson and Derek and these top guys, and you think they're on 5 times as much as everybody else, but they're probably on a third of what some of these amateur guys are that are just trying to make it because they always just had it. Like Samson probably looked insane when he was natural and then touched an androgen and like exploded. And that's the difference is it's your responsiveness to it, it's your genetic propensity. And some of it's like the underlying, how hard do you train? How hard are you willing to push yourself? A lot of times people use it as a replacement for it instead of an accelerant too, meaning they don't train very hard and then they'll try to outgear their bad training. Whereas you guys, a guy that's training really fucking hard and well and recovering well and sleeping and doing all the other things right, a fraction of that accelerant is going to do 4x of what the guy is that's blasting gear and doing everything else wrong.
Yeah. Hey Mark, I think you've got like some like feedback noise or something going on in your mic, man.
It might be, yeah. I don't know. I was
It's
trying
like,
to figure out what it was.
Me?
It sounds like
yeah,
it sounds
because
like
I think
Yeah, there's something.
Is it coming from
submarine
mine?
or something. Yeah, it is because your thing keeps lighting up on Zoom. It might just be that our speaker's too loud or something. I don't know.
sounds
Oh,
like
maybe it's
sounds like a submarine.
Yeah, yeah.
guys' voices because there's no noise.
So I think what's happening is sometimes is the speaker noise kind of like refracts back into your mic and gives like a
Yeah.
little bit of feedback.
Yeah, maybe turn your speaker down a little
Yeah, turn your
if
speaker
you can
down.
still hear us.
It's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. I'm like, is Kenton playing his diving videos or?
I know
How's
that's what
Is that any better?
That was my day, man.
Much better.
that's better. Yeah, that's
That's
better.
what you said,
Yeah.
Kenzen. You said you sounded like I was underwater when
I
first.
did say that before you guys jumped on. Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I did say that.
Under the sea.
I was scared to say anything so I don't get destroyed in one of your next video comparisons.
No. I try to be polite.
Janicki versus Issertel.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Oh,
Yeah.
for Mark's views anyway. We all know which way it's gonna go, but yeah.
Israel always gets confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's funny how much that guy can like generate just so much content for people, man. I mean, it's been relentless lately. You know, the PhD thing, and now the Mike Menser comments, and Dorian Yates responding, and I'm like, oh, shit, man, like, this is insanity.
Yeah, he's generating more news than Mike Summerfield.
Yeah.
I know you know about that, Eric.
Yeah.
I had to bring it up somehow.
No comment on that one. I feel bad because I was the one I would like not directly.
I'll be right back.
I was the one who like my video, which I didn't even think about because realistically, when I go to do content, like I have a videographer, so I have not since I hired this guy. I love this is one of my best friends. I have not watched a single video before it gets posted. I trust Phil. I'm like, dude, I trust you. Post it. So I didn't even think about it because it would have been days since I worked out with him and did the leg workout. So I didn't even think about the whole like you know, him kind of like getting upset on camera. And I didn't know how it was going to be perceived. And then Phil posted it, and then Ivan saw it, and him and I are friends. So he messaged me, and he was like, "Dude, what is this?" And I was like, "It was like I was like, we trained the next day. It's not a big deal." I was like, "You're not going to do a video on it." He's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, I'm doing a video on this." And then it took a whole life of its own. Like he did his video, and then the whole height thing happened. I was like, "Oh no." And then
Yeah. And then
Mike was
even in
messing.
his own videos, he was sort of like he had a bit of he's like, no, we do it. That is not this is a warm-up. You need to stop. So I'm like, oh man, you're not helping yourself. I'm like, you probably should have stopped that video going out, knowing the controversy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think. And then Mike was messaging me and telling me like, hey, you gotta like, do a video about like how I'm such a nice guy. I was like, dude, that's gonna make it worse because then anybody
Way
who
worse.
anybody who was didn't know about the video is then gonna be like, oh wait, what is Eric even talking about? Like now I have to go watch the video, and they're gonna make their own deductions from watching the other video. Like they're gonna be like, oh, like this is such a like cover up for the situation. So I was like, dude, let's just you and I are fine. Let's just let it'll go by. The Olympia will happen and nobody's gonna talk about this shit ever again. But
Sorry, I
yeah,
brought it up.
I felt bad about that one. But yes, but I think anytime you are like, let's say in Mike's situation, and Mike's a friend of mine as well, and I've tried to tell him about this. If you present yourself with a large ego and say things like that, yes, you'll have your followers get all hyped up and jazzed up. And like same thing with Nick, he gets very confident and cocky, and I think that's his whole shtick and persona. But it opens you up to people not feeling bad about just ripping into you because you feel so much less bad about going after somebody that has seemingly, whether it's true or not, or it's a character, an ego, right? So Mike recently, when he's talking about better physique than Mike, more muscle than Mike Menser, when up to this point, his whole thing was you can't judge somebody and their knowledge based on their physique or how much muscle they have because that's not how it works. But then he was like, "Oh, well, I have more muscle than him. Like, I'm better than Mike Metzer, and I'm smarter than Mike Metzer." And you're like, "Oh, that's." And now it's so
Yeah.
easy to pile on him because he has this big ego. So, like, let's say I came on this podcast and I was like, yeah, realistically, like the whole top of 10 at the Olympia sucked. Like my physique is better than theirs, and I'm like gonna show them next year what's up. You know how many times that clip's gonna be played when I get like seventh at a pro show, right? Like, oh, look, Eric Janicki, like
Mm,
thought he was gonna beat all these guys, can't even get seventh at a pro show. Whereas like everybody knows how humble I am. So when I get seventh at the pro show, everybody's like, oh, good for Eric, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be people hate me for no reason, like because of the way I train or whatever. Sure, fine. But they don't hate me because I'm a bad person or I have a big ego. So it's not like I'm trying to create a character. It's just the person I am. But I think that when you go the opposite way and you create views by being divisive or having an ego, you have to be ready on the other side of that to face the repercussions of the trash talk, of the ego, of talking shit, because people are less likely to not want to go hard on you. They'll go 10 times harder than somebody maybe that has proven to be a lot more humble over time. I think that's why, fair or unfair, Derek gets it a lot, because he, talks a big game and is a little bit of a attitude as well. Whereas like I think Samson's done a decent job. I think he gets a little sensitive, but I don't think he's ever come out and been like, yeah, this person's physique sucks. This person's garbage. So I think that's why you see less of that directed towards Samson, than some of these other guys that, do talk a lot of trash. I think Martin's learned a lot from that. You hear him so much less, whereas 3 years ago, he
Yeah.
was
the Texas
snap them
Pro
up.
thing.
Oh, yeah, the
Said
whole
something
Texas
about
Yeah.
being
Pro.
jacked.
Bag of chocolate milk thing. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was hoping
That
somebody
got
else would say it.
we
that
all,
got
we
leaked.
all, we all know, we all know what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
But
is just it. No, you're right, though. You're right. It's best to remain humble. Remain humble.
Yeah.
You're going to sleep better at night if you do that too.
Yeah.
People that have to speak in such a manner or in public forums versus what they may not be like otherwise, it gets difficult to track after a while. It's got to get difficult to track. If you want to remain humble, genuine, especially when you are in a public forum, then it's going to be a lot easier to just live your life. Otherwise you're going to have a very difficult time trying to remember what you said to this person versus what you may have said to this person, or how you're going to respond when it comes to public backlash. I mean, just the thought of it, honestly, is exhausting for me.
like, I mean, I'm lucky that it's not in my persona to be that way. But yeah, no, I think I'd be so stressed out all the time, just like knowing everybody's just waiting for my downfall. That'd be
Yeah.
terrible. I'm sure
That's
people.
why I
Oh man.
appreciate how you've come up, Eric. Like you're not like, it's not like you're just making like drama video after drama video and doing like talking shit about people to actually gain notoriety and popularity. Like you've done it being yourself, and you can tell. I think like people can with how much we see on social media or on YouTube and everything, people can see people's personality and they can generally see if people are being authentic or not. And I feel like people can see you're authentic and the way you go about things and you're truly actually being yourself. But I think sometimes when people aren't themselves as well, and they try to put on an act now, like maybe it worked with like, Floyd Mayweather and like certain like, people, when it was, you were seeing curated selective things and they would put on a quick persona. But now if you do too much of that, it's like people can be like, these guys full of shit.
Yeah.
Oh
It's an
yeah.
upside downside thing. Like it's taking me more time to like garner an audience because I won't like go to that level. But you see guys like they go like to the nth degree of that, like Chris and Jake Paul, for example, they built their whole brand basically like being complete fucking assholes, coming out to California, almost burning houses down and stuff. And that was the trade-off. Like you're gonna be more viral, you're gonna be more divisive. Some people are gonna love you because they think you're funny. Some like majority of people are gonna hate you. And like that's just the you gotta lay in the bed that you created. So I just never wanted to be in that position, but to each their own. I think that it's like it does have tremendous upside potential when it comes to virality and how fast you can get views and clicks.
Yeah. I mean, I could do a video on Nick Walker and just, fabricate a bit of a title and be very selective. And I've done videos like drama videos and things like that, but it's sort of stuff that I'm like, well, if I don't do a video on it, someone's going to do a video on it and have a much more negative take. And I'm like, at least in my video content, it's more positive overall, being like, hey, give the guy a break. Like, it's not that big of a deal, sort of thing, a lot of the time, because people like to, like, there's some drama things that have been made up lately where I'm like, that's not even a story. Like, Kenson did a
Yeah.
video on it yesterday, and I'm
Make
like,
it up.
that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. And
Oh,
I actually saw like Evans, like great dude. Like everything I know of Evans really great, but there was one story about Samson or something that he did in a video, and he copped it in the comments. Man, I'm like, I can't take like that sort of like people just going at you. I don't really care what people think, but at the same time, it's just builds up that negativity. And if you're reading it, it's like it's hard to take in. You know what I mean? So
he was brutal, bro. Like I know him, like him and I chat a decent amount, and yeah, he won't hold any punches. Like I even with me, like I would never expect, even if he made a video about me, like if he sees it a certain way, he's not gonna like be nicer because it's me and he knows me and we message all the time. He'll say if I show up to a show and look like garbage, he'll go online and be like, "Yeah, Eric was soft. Yeah, this was a terrible look for him. Like should stick to social media." I mean, yeah, but that's why he gets views. But I think that he
yeah,
does it in a way that's like on the border of like almost going to too negative, but still like he still has some good takes, and I think that he's a lot more
yeah,
uh like in that sense of what we're talking about, like yeah, should Nick Walker realistically retire? Absolutely not. Whereas, I think there's some people out there that would post like content like that where just to get views, just to be negative, and it's going to get more. Like if you, like Xavier, if you posted a video where the thumbnail was like Nick Walker is done with like him at that backstage with his like, gut or something, I'm sure we get way more views than you just talking about like, hey, like what's next for Nick Walker now? Like what do you, like we talked about today, like productively, like he's not done, but here, what does he need to do to get back to the level where he is in that conversation? That's not going to get as many views because it's a positive take on, he's not done.
Yeah.
He could be just right there again. He was just there right there in Pittsburgh. It's just a few little tweaks to get back to where he to full form.
Yeah, you have to be honest. You have to be able to, because there's channels out there that get, like might get almost no views, and you see their video title and the thumbnail, and you're like, yeah, well, it's not that interesting. I'm not going to click on that. You know what I mean? So there is a line, like you said, like, and I know I've toed the line before where I'm like, should I do this? And I sit back, and if I'm really questioning it, then like Kent and I spoke about this, and we're like,
You'll send me messages. Yeah.
we won't do it. We won't do it, because there's a certain line. Like if someone's flat out said, I did one video on Nick Walker once, and he's like, I think he said Regan's back's shit or something like that. Like he was and he was saying a lot of stuff in that video. And I'm like, well, man, I'm like, you literally just served it out there really harsh. So I'm like, I have to do a bit. And I did a video on that, and I knew it would get tons of views, and it got a lot of views on that one. But I mean, if Nick said something very slight, I'm like, look, it's not worth making a video out of. Like that was like, or it was in a passing comment or is misconstrued or something. I'm like, nah, I'll leave that, because I'm just going to be painting Nick as a shit guy for no reason, or, looking bad for no reason. But, that video where he's saying all that stuff in that one, I was like, no, that's crazy. I mean, I've got to make a video on that, because that's going to get.
I asked about the Regan thing, and I think what it is for him is like if he sees somebody with like crazy potential that's underperforming, he's going to be like 10 times harder than them. But that's why he's a huge Nick fan, because he feels like Nick has always been the underdog and like playing with kind of like subpar genetics. And then you've got a guy like Regan who was like turning pro at 21, like right there with C-Bum when they went pro. And has this crazy potential, has never really fulfilled it, and like that's frustrating to him. Whereas if you have somebody that's kind of fighting the odds, he'll be a lot like a bigger fan or easier on them. Like, so that's why he's, probably going to be like more critical of like somebody like Stefan Matala than, because like the genetic potential is just insane.
Insane.
Whereas like if somebody's like, yeah, kind of like, you could tell their structure is not the best, and they're still like doing pretty well, he'll give them a lot more grace, I think, which is, I think, fair, I guess, in a sense. But that's what I've noticed about him. That's why he like always like just digging into Regan, because I think he sees the potential, and he just thinks he's not kind of meeting it. And he hasn't really seen, in his opinion, much progression over the last 3 to 4 years. But I do got to bounce, guys. I got to go grab the kiddos. I know you guys are probably going to keep going, but it was a huge honor for me to be on here and be with you guys. I've watched so many of your videos, and hopefully I'll be up there next year making you guys proud, and hopefully I'll be on here a good amount of times before then.
Hey man, I appreciate
Awesome.
it. Yeah, thanks for taking some time, and I better get my ass to Toronto next year. I've been wanting to go the last couple, so I'd say that if you're going to make it up there, another reason to definitely make it. But no, look, there's still, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll definitely be driving it. I love doing that drive. But no, again, thank you very much, Eric. We'll get you back on again. If you're looking to talk bodybuilding, man, this is the place to be for sure.
Love it. Got to bring up the lats a little bit more to match the.
Hey, that's a thumbnail. That's a thumbnail. Timestamp.
What's going on? Everybody's so huge. What's going on?
Last time I traded shots with Lee Priest, I got my ass kicked. I'm not doing it.
Not doing it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you.
All right.
Oh, man.
All right.
Catch
Later,
bro.
man.
Good talking.
Oh man.
I know what your
What a cool
thumbnail
guy he is.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, he's just it's like you was saying, just genuine. He doesn't know how to be any other way, and that's part of why he does as well as he does.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested to see how he does when it comes 3 shows. Were you here for that, Xavier? He said he's gonna do 3 shows, man.
Yeah.
He's doing Cali, Legion, and Toronto. They're all right in a row there.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy. I owe you an apology, Xavier. I did not tell you what time we were going to be here. So I
Yeah.
will own up to
I
that.
assumed it was that.
That's why you
10
didn't mention
a.m.,
that
11
after
a.m.
you looked
time.
on your phone.
You should add. You should add.
I tried to plug these headphones in, but this won't plug in my computer anywhere because I can
You
barely
know
hear
what
you
though?
guys.
I'm actually glad
Oh,
that
really?
it is you, Mark, because you guys may have noticed I was like muting my mic every so often because I
Yeah.
thought that it was
Yeah,
me
I did notice that.
because I'm so used to, and when I was muting it, I was still hearing it, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here, man?" And I'm so used to you know what it is? I'm so used to hearing underwater all the time that I just assumed that it was my end. Honestly, I assume,
What is this, your ears?
I don't know why this won't get in there.
dude, maybe if I'm not underwater, then I'm listening to underwater, or I'm supervising someone underwater, or I'm editing the video from when we did an inspection from under. I did that for 4 hours today, 6 hours yesterday. I was editing and doing written reports, right? So like, you know what, Xavier, I'm glad you're here, man, for more reasons than just one.
Thanks, man. Do you know what's funny? Back in the day, this is like years ago. This was when podcasting had to upload it through like an FTP client, and it was like
Yeah.
old school. I would have been 20 years old or something, so like 16 years ago. So I was doing an interview with Aaron Singerman. So this is when I was like talking with RX Muscle, and I think I started RX Muscle Australia around or a little bit after that time.
Yep.
And I had Aaron Singerman on, and I had these headphones with like a microphone here, right? Because there's no video. So I didn't care what it looked like. So that was my microphone in my headphones. And it was just like a cheap pair. And I remember it used to get feedback sometimes. And once I was interviewing him, and it just sounded like a huge train like colliding into me. It's like, and it was like, it just sounded like that, the feedback. And Aaron just goes during the interview, he's like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, what was what? He's like, sound like a train hit you or something. And it's when I listened back to it, I reckon I pissed myself laughing about 20 times listening to it. I just couldn't stop. Like, it sounded ridiculous. So
Oh
yeah.
man, that's nothing. Have you watched like well, I'm sure you do. Like you watch like After Hours and like shows like Palumbo does, like any of them.
Yeah.
The audio issues, man, are legendary. Like
On that
I don't
last
know.
show, Dave's audio
Dude.
was so bad.
Oh man. I left him a comment. I was like, dude, I will help you. Like I'm sure I can fix whatever
I
it
saw
is.
that.
Yeah.
So I liked
I
it.
was like,
I liked it. I
was like,
actually.
I'm sure that I could, man. Like Dave's got a sick setup. I know he's got a sick setup. Just whatever is happening there, it's not
Headphones.
dialed in.
That's what he
Could
needed
be.
for that one, because he has the audio playing back, but then I think he had his gain up tons on his microphone because I could hear every click so loudly what he was doing. So I'm like,
I think he needs soundboards too.
Yeah, background cancellation would have fixed it anyway. Like you can do that in StreamYard. I just don't think that he realized.
Maybe. No, I think he needs some. Mark, you're good.
Is this mic work or is this one? Is this one?
No,
working?
you're good. Yeah, you sound like Mark.
No, it's a big mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did find the hole finally, but I didn't want to mess around when you guys were all talking.
Nah, you're good, man.
You're
You're
good.
good. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Look, we still got a few shows happening this year. Did you guys see the competitors list for the Poland show?
No.
No?
No, I only
First,
saw Keem was in it, and is Crizo in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Why not?
No Criso. Roman Fritz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Roman,
Roberto Bonomo. Do you guys remember him?
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember the name.
Great.
Made
I
a
have to
decent
see it.
Aesthetic
splash.
physique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bonomo. Have to
Yes.
see him.
Italian
Bonomo.
stallion.
What about Johan or Johan? I wonder if he's competing again.
Joan
He's a
Predel.
big- Yeah.
Is
and
he in
I
that
heard,
one?
I heard it. No, but I'd like to see him compete soon. A lot of
Let's
people talking
see.
about him.
Yeah, can you bring up the list?
It's
Ali
Johan.
Ebrikart. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of beauties competing, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay.
I learned that
I'll
on
bring it-
your
I'll bring it up.
podcast, Xavier.
Well, I had two people telling me, or two or three people telling me it's Johan, and then I had one woman
yeah.
who actually follows me on Instagram. It's I was saying it right, like Johan, and
No,
she
because
said
the
she's
guy
from the city. So
I know, but one guy said they heard him say his own name.
It
Did you
is
read that
Joan.
comment?
Yeah, I did
I
read
know
that.
that I've heard it. Okay. I know that I've heard it because I've seen him do posing videos
And he
like
calls
over
himself
Skype,
Johan?
and he's been called Joan. Like,
How does he
I
say
know.
it though?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, we should make a controversial video on this.
3
What's
videos
his
I
real
called him
name?
Johan now. I've been
I
calling
just-
him Johan. I feel like an idiot now.
Yeah, I've been calling
No.
him Johan, so one of us is wrong.
Whoa, hold on. Andrea Presti?
Oh,
He always
Presti's in.
impresses me.
Okay.
Not lately though.
No, but he's doing it. That's okay.
Your
What
buddy
else
there,
do we got?
Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph Vetton. Dude, he was
He looked like-
shredded.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was shredded, dude. He looked
I
awesome.
love
He was very good.
Powell Kowalski.
Yeah, Pavel Kowalski. Ali Edward Cargbo. That's a guy that could win this
Oh.
show.
Ali Edward, yeah.
Yep. That's a guy that could win this.
Structurally
Man.
small, but individually he looks like freaking, he's up there in the
Jan
Olympia.
Tarak. He's impressive.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
How do you say
Pablo
that name at
Lopez.
the bottom?
Piotr Wolnik, I
Oh,
think.
Who's that?
Piotr?
Is that-
Pablo Lopez is actually very, very good. He was third in that British Grand Prix, was it?
Yes, I don't know what he was, but he is very good. I watched that guy put on size the last few seasons, man. He's getting very good. Very aesthetic. He's got to watch that midsection, but he is good.
The guys like him and Roberto Bueno, is it Bueno?
Buonomo?
Buonomo?
Yeah.
Buonomo. Those sorts of guys, they're sort of the next wave of those European guys that are going to be, right up there, like potentially winning shows in the future.
Piotr, he's
man.
classic, isn't he?
No,
I think
that's
it's a different Piotr.
That's a different guy. Yeah, I know the guy you're
Sure?
talking about. Yep, I am sure. Yes.
Yeah.
His last
his-
name
I was-
starts with a W too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
common.
Different guy,
Some of
man.
those countries have a lot of guys that have the same name, like
Mohammed.
Muhammad.
Everybody. It's like, your son is not Mohammed. He is not big enough to be Mohammed. My son is Mohammed. Mohammed, step out here. That is Mohammed. It'd be like
Right.
naming people in America named Jesus. But apparently there's a law. You're not allowed to name your kid Jesus. And,
No,
Is
You're
it
not.
Jesus? Don't we call him Jesus when it's spelled Jesus?
That's in Spanish. You're allowed Jesus, but you're not allowed to be called Jesus. There's a list of
You
names
spell
that
it
you're not
Jesus,
allowed
correct?
to use. Yes.
Interesting.
It's funny how Jesus and Zeus is kind of God too. Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Never
weird,
made
isn't
that
it?
correlation.
Hercules is the son of Zeus. So it's the same kind of storyline.
Yeah, interesting.
Is
I
it?
the last show. Is it really though? Like,
Have
you
you
say
just
that?
offended? You just offended my story. Hit the brakes.
Oh, that's
Question
funny.
everything. That's what I say.
Hmm.
Your son looks
Oh,
like he's
man.
coming out of the ether. Did he just hand you a drink?
It looks
No,
like
no,
Homer
I got no.
Simpson
No,
coming
I
out of
didn't
the-
send my boy to get my drink. No.
Why?
Get
I
me a
sent
beer,
my wife.
son.
I sent my wife
This
to
one's
bring me a
almost-
new coffee. Did you guys notice that?
Oh, that's awesome. I'm solo here. I've got no assistance.
Kenzen, I heard you say I heated my coffee up 5 times during a podcast or your live.
I have in the past.
You need this.
Yes.
Mm.
Or one that keeps it warm, Keeps
Whoa.
it-
Actually,
This keeps it warm for hours.
this
Warm
one,
now.
Yeah.
this is a, I won't show. This one's a Yeti. Yeah, this one's a Yeti.
Ah,
So this one is good. I had a client give me this one, and I've been using it.
Don't you like drinking out of
Nice.
a mug, though?
yeah, I know what you mean.
Grab it.
Fair. Look. Right.
Oh,
Right. Yep.
is that Dragon Ball Z then Bart Simpson on the side?
It
No,
looked like
that's
Bart on
just-
your mug.
it's
I was
just-
gonna
it's
say,
just
do you have
Dragon Ball.
Bart Simpson? What's that over there?
Oh.
The yellow and orange. It looks like
Oh
Bart.
yeah.
No, that's just Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
That's just
Uh,
Dragon Ball.
This is Bart, man.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got Bart. I didn't even realize you got Bart. That's crazy.
You didn't even
I
notice
did not
Bart,
even
yeah.
realize that, Mark. I did not. That's insane that it looked like that on Kenson's mug, and I didn't even notice what was on your mug.
Don't have a cow, man.
That's a good impersonation. I'm glad I didn't try that.
I can do it. I can do a better Homer.
You can't do it.
Yeah,
I believe that I can do Homer J. Simpson.
Homer's hard to do, man.
Homer? Yeah, I got the right vocal cords, I guess.
Did
Yeah, I
you
feel like
guys
I've got
ever
Mr.
see
Burns.
Mr. Burns? Fuck. Did you see the episode of the Simpsons where Homer started going to the gym in the morning and then he climbed the murder horn mountain?
Power sauce bar. He goes,
Yeah,
go ahead, grab, see if you can find any blubber. And they're all grabbing. No, not down there. Not
not
down there
there.
either.
Grab my
Now grab
foot. No,
here.
not that foot. Yeah. What do you think your old man now, Bart? He like shoves him into a fan. He's like, "You're damn right."
Ah!
Holy fuck, man! It was shortly after that I started training in the morning. Oh, really?
I've been on the nighttime kick.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. You find it better?
I don't know. If I'm thinking about wrestling again, because we wrestle at night, like I was actually talking about earlier, Phil did train at night because you compete at night.
So did
So
Jay.
if you're, yeah, there you go. Because your body responds, like Hulk Hogan. I heard him say it when he was retired. He said, "Every night, brother, I just get this load of energy at nighttime," because that's when he would wrestle. So at nighttime is when he would get that big burst of energy. So if you're all raring to go first thing in the morning, or if you have a job that you have to do in the morning, training in the morning, I guess the best.
I've been kind of switching
I
it
went
up.
for a while of training in the morning.
Yeah, you were for recently actually, Xavier, weren't you?
It was a little bit ago, but I was training in the morning. I think that was like a year ago, actually, to be honest. I was training in the morning, but yeah, I'm doing evenings now mostly, except on like a weekend, Saturday or whatever. Go like middle of the day, early afternoon or something.
I've done
Yeah,
a
well, that'll
fasted
tell you my
cardio.
perception of time out the window. Yeah, good.
You guys tried any of that, like fasted cardio in the morning?
Oh,
Yeah.
prepping, yeah, all the time.
I'll do
I think
it
it's better.
like not every second day, but like third or whatever. I live on a mountain, so I'll walk down to the bottom of the mountain, come back up. Took
Yeah,
me an
nice.
hour. Now I can get it in almost a half hour, 37 minutes or so.
It's pretty good.
That's a pace step up.
Well,
I loved it.
I've been
So,
trying to not get, I don't know for sure, but I might do one more match like wrestling. So I've been trying to
Okay.
kind of keep in
oh,
shape
nice.
because if you're not in shape, you do not want to be out there. It's
You're
like
gonna get hurt.
you not hurt, but your feelings will be hurt. The last thing you want to do is lay on the ground and say, "All right, let's end this." And the guy's like,
Oh,
"No, we ain't ending this." Because I've been in the opposite situation where the guy's dead, he's gassed. It's like we have a lot of stuff to go through here. If you can't do it, you can't do it.
well, if you know what you're
Yeah.
doing, you're not gonna get hurt. But I mean, man, the people have and will get hurt from any of that. Even choreographed wrestling, man. You know, there was one.
Get hurt worse.
I was at a local one there a couple of years ago now, and the final match they broke glass over the ring, and then one guy got up onto the top ropes and he was like holding the guy who was pretending he was stunned, and he flipped him, and Buddy landed on his back, and he got up and his back was all bleeding. I was like, this is fucking insane. I was like,
Yeah.
this kicked up a couple notches, man.
That type
Yeah,
of
it's
behavior
nuts.
I do not condone. Although I've wrestled in thumbtacks. I'll do thumbtacks, but
Ooh.
these guys, I did a tag match one time, and the match was over. They handcuffed me to the corner of the ring, and those guys did something involving glass in the ring, and I said I don't want to be involved in it, so that's why they handcuffed me because I didn't want to be involved in it. And it was a mirror, and they smashed him through the mirror. If I find it, Kenton, I'll send it to you. There's like
Yeah.
we used to do wrap up videos, and it would show like a little clip from each match, and there is a clip, and he was wearing he wore like a jail suit, like a jumpsuit, so he had gloves on and he had everything all taped up, but still there's little bits of glass all over the place. And I said, guys have to wrestle afterwards. I said that's the guys who do that
That's
never
crazy.
make it into the pros.
Oh.
They do not make it to the pros.
Okay.
That's not-
Tell me
that's not wrestling.
here. Tell me this. What kind of training are you doing to try to
Come
get
on,
back in shape? All right, you'll be okay. What kind of training are you doing to try to get back in shape for wrestling now?
Just cardio, just jogging,
That's it.
punching bag, double end bag, things like that. You can't do anything unless you're in the ring, training in the ring.
So when are you going to get back in the ring, and how often are you going to do it when you do decide to get back in the ring?
Just a one and done situation.
Oh,
There's
really?
only one guy. Yeah, there's only one guy I want to wrestle, buddy of mine. He goes by
Okay.
the name of Larry Horowitz. Horowitz.
Okay. Why do you want to wrestle him? Do you want to kick his
yeah.
ass?
Oh yeah, he's going down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In the wrestling world, if you want to wrestle somebody, it's because you like them.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I posted a video clip a while back, and a guy had me up into a hurricane run on the top rope, and I reversed it into like that guy there. I've been wrestling him since like backyard wrestling days.
Okay. Okay.
He's still involved, and he's getting towards his mid 40s, and I'm mid 40s, but to do it once, I'll have to go up to Moncton. My mom's up to Moncton for 2 weeks. No, but I have to get up there and get in the ring and train a few times, or I can just forget about it. But right now, I've been getting in shape that way. Of course, it cuts into your bodybuilding, but you want that too. You want to be in shape, but you're never, ever going to look your best if you're planning on, like, just imagine if you were going to get into a fight, like a boxing match or MMA, you wouldn't give a crap what you look like. You'd want to be in the best physical shape you could be in.
You would.
I've tried to wrestle pumped, like big. The first thing I do is gas. It's like, how I'm laying on the ground thinking, how muscular do you look now, Sonny Warcloud? Not very. You're sitting there.
Yeah, it's like going. It's like going Super Saiyan 3. You know, Super Saiyan 3 was not all it was cracked out to be because you're too big, you're too slow.
What is it?
Super Saiyan 3.
I don't know what that is.
Xavier?
Yeah,
No.
Well, I know Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know it. No.
Oh, that's why I don't know. I didn't watch.
I need
that
Bo
show.
Lewis here. I got to get Bo Lewis back on the show, man.
See my girlfriend on. She loves anime. She loves anime.
Yeah.
It's funny because people my age like it, and I'm like, where was I? Did I miss that? I don't remember seeing it on TV or anything.
No, it was when I was a kid. Mark, you've got a couple years on me. It was just after.
Phil Heath watches it, and he's older than me. Guys that are older than me have watched it, and I do not remember it.
These guys, maybe they picked it up later. I can't say for sure, but like a lot of it did come down to the fact that these guys were jacked, dude. Like that's what it was for me. Wesley Vissers, that's why he got into bodybuilding, was because of Dragon Ball Z, right? He wanted to look like Goku. Like that was some of the basis of why a lot of guys started training.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. But I get it. I get it. But I remember Dragon Ball Z used to be on in the morning in Australia on like their kids' morning TV shows. And that was always the one that annoyed me because I'm like, I don't get it. And it feels like most of the time they're like, what? We've got stuff coming out of their heads.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't get it screaming and like fighting and screaming. I'm like, I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. I didn't watch much of it. And I didn't follow the storyline. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I just couldn't I've watched a couple of animes with my girlfriend, but they're like Japanese anime. So I'm watching the subtitles and I'm like, I can't eat at the same time as doing this because I was eating and I'm missing lines, you know?
Okay.
I watched Astro Boy. I remember Astro Boy. That was way before any of that.
Oh yeah, that was well before.
That was anime though. That's Oriental, like Japanese origin.
Yeah, from way back. I'll tell you what it is about the different animes like Dragon Ball Z, or you guys wouldn't know any of the recent ones, which is why I need Bo Lewis here, like Solo Leveling or anyway. Dragon Ball Z, it's an easy one. It wasn't just about the physiques, but for me, the entirety of Dragon Ball Z was about nothing but training to be better. Was also something that I realized later, right? Like Goku didn't want to do anything but train, right? Vegeta didn't want to do anything but train and get better than Goku, right? So it was the constant progression that these guys were always looking for as well. I realized later in life is why I really enjoyed them. And it's why I can still sit down and watch certain ones today, because like I watched one of a show called Solo Leveling. It's a Korean anime, and I recommend it to everybody because it's one of the best animes ever fucking made. The entirety of it is won't give you guys the whole story. One of the episodes was literally called "I Need to
Oh,
Get
go
Strong."
ahead. I won't watch it.
No, I know you won't watch it. No, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But one of the
Okay.
episodes was literally called "I Need to Get Stronger," and so that's where I still get the appeal for myself, and I can continue to find shows like that.
You ever
Do you
watch
get
the
into
old
other
Ninja
anime,
Turtles?
though?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. There you go, Mark.
Did you ever watch the old Ninja Turtles cartoon?
Oh
From the
yeah,
80s?
How old?
Do you
How
remember
old?
the episode? Oh, it's from the 80s, but it went into the 90s. It was like 5 or 6
Yeah, I
seasons.
watched him in the 90s. Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where there was all those big muscle men and one guy, he was a little nerd, and they looked at a picture of him, they're like, this is just last year. And I'm thinking, they actually gave the guy a whole year, and they were all impressed with it. He put all this muscle on in 1 year because they had this laser beam called the Strongium 90. I need another blast of the Strongium 90. And the guy had the Arnold impression and everything. You don't remember that one?
was it the big guys holding like pipes and chains and shit like that?
No, they had a great big giant boxing glove. They were going to go smash the city apart, but they got Casey Jones to go in there to try to infiltrate them. And he goes, "Come on, make a muscle. Let's see what you have." And Casey Jones flexes his arm. He's like, "You're just a puny weakling."
I vaguely remember the glove.
Episode. Yeah, great big boxing glove.
Yeah,
But no, they
vaguely
were
remember
taking just one zap of Strongium 90, and they were just jacked.
Yeah, Strongium 90 was Trent acetate.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I tell you one thing that I don't get lately, man. You guys notice that there's a lot more like pro bodybuilders that are starting to collab with the Trend Twins. Have you guys seen that shit lately? No.
You sent
Yeah,
me
Lee did.
something. You sent
Yeah.
me something.
Yeah,
Derek
Lee
with
did.
them or something?
Yeah, Lee did. Derek
Bruce?
did. Yep. Yeah.
Bruce
All
went
these
partying
guys.
with them.
The Trend Twins are just a reasonable facsimile of the Barbarian Twins, who were twice as big and way better. Do you remember the Barbarian Twins?
Yeah, but yeah. What's their names? Something Paul.
Paul, and yeah, they were on movies. They did like Conan the Barbarian type. They were on DC Cab. If you ever seen DC Cab,
I
They
don't
were
have seen
jacked.
DC Cab. Yeah, they were in
You never seen
movies
DC
though.
Cab? Mr. T,
No,
Gary Busey.
not
No.
seen.
No.
It
No.
was a gooder.
It's beyond me.
Have you seen those
Those
other
ones
guys
are-
that look like the Trent Twins too? Like, no, they look like the Barbarian Brothers. They got long hair, and one's apparently enhanced, and one's not. They
No,
look like them.
These guys were both enhanced. Jean Paul.
Yeah. Oh, I know they were.
Pierre and
Oh,
Paul.
find
or
these other
something.
guys. They're two twins or brothers or whatever, but they look like the Barbarian Twins. They wear like all the old school like bodybuilding, like like the unitards and stuff.
The Trend
find
Twins
out.
too.
See if you
Or
can
other-
find them.
Not the Trent.
I don't know. But I tell you, I looked at that and all the different collabs that are happening with the Trend Twins, and I find it still baffling as to the widespread acceptance of the, well, essentially harshest compound being normalized out there. I don't want to say glorified because I don't feel like they're glorifying
No.
it, but just
Well,
it
kind
just
of, kind of.
well, kind of, but
It's in their name.
normal. Yeah, it is. But everybody just treating it as if it's just like, okay,
We'll
like
take a little trend.
Derek Lunsford that doesn't speak about what drugs he does. I'll go train with the Trend Twins, right? Like
It's like calling yourself Marx Max Crack.
I don't know if it's that bad.
Well,
But this is just. But
there's
this
no
is just,
way that trend's worse than crack. Well,
we're gonna start weighing
Hey,
out crack
Kenson.
and trend. Yes.
It's the Barbarian Brothers. They call themselves the Barbarian Brothers. These two guys. If you
Okay.
look them up on Instagram.
that's
You know.
that's the old Barbarian Twins.
Yeah, but these young guys are calling themselves the same thing.
Oh, they're copycats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've got about 50,000 followers, I think.
Okay. The
Even
modern
bodybuilding
day.
has more than that.
Right. The modern day Barbarian Brothers. I see. Okay.
They've got the look. They got that look though, And
Yeah,
they're
they
legit-
kind of do.
And they're wearing all the old school stuff. Like they sort of look like them.
Yeah, they're definitely on
Probably
trend.
short. They're probably short.
Can you bring it up, Kenson?
I suppose I could.
Yeah, I want Mark to see.
Okay.
You'll have to do stuff to do that, though. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they
Barbarian
do.
Brothers
They do
2.0.
resemble.
Okay.
Yeah,
At least
they
they
do
acknowledge the
resemble
originals.
Barbarian twins.
I should get these guys on the podcast.
The thing,
Yeah.
the thing about the older school guys too, you'll see like one picture of them. It's like if they could get zoomed in and take proper pictures of these guys, they would have looked bigger back then. It's like they don't get a fair shake just because of the picture quality and stuff. Like all this that's being angled close to us, those shots. That's why I
And
look
you can
half
take a
muscular
million
in some of
photos
my
now
pictures. Exactly. Back then you had one picture. That's it. You got to wait till 3 weeks till we get this developed at Walmart.
Yeah, 24
actually look
photos
like-
on a camera roll, you know?
They look like they're kind of using like older cameras too, kind of.
Some of them
Yeah,
do.
yeah, it's definitely the vibe they're going for.
These guys are legit.
Not like the
Yeah.
look at the Barbarian twins though. They're jacked. Actually, that picture that they use was the Barbarian twins, I think.
Oh, really?
Or they,
Exactly.
their actual profile picture. Just from what I seen, it looked like the actual
Was it?
twins. I don't know. It
Could
looked
be.
like it.
It is. It's the actual twins. Yeah, it's not
Oh, okay.
That's what I
them,
thought.
yeah.
'Cause I've seen that picture before. That's the cover of their movie. I forget
Well-
what the movie was called.
You see,
The Barbarians or something like that.
there's their motivation. The Barbarian twins, right? That's the thing. Just like anime, just like Dragon Ball Z. You guys see? You see what's happening here? Right? This is what's
It's all
happening.
one and the same. Everything is one.
Oh man. All right. What else do we got? Anything else we want to talk about before we sign off?
Let me have a look. I've got some save stuff on.
Do you? Good.
Wait.
It's been a while since we did one of these, actually. Mark, I know we did one with me, you, and Lee, but it's been a bit. It's been a minute. I miss doing these.
Which are they?
Yeah, man.
The podcasts in general.
Oh yeah. You should do like Q&As too, like ask your fans. They want to like for anybody to answer any questions. Like especially Lee Priest. Like
Especially
it'd be good
Lee
to
Priest.
finish off like your podcast or something. I've seen the other guys sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? I'll start posting to my it's not called community tab anymore. It's just called posts.
No, post. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a thing that you can open up your community section though in your studio. I've seen that. I didn't go messing around with it, but there. Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I saw that. I
don't
saw
know.
someone post on someone else's. I was like, "What's this?" And I thought that actual YouTube channel was posting it. It's
No, you
confusing.
can open it up for people to post on.
Yeah,
That's what they call it, a community section. But I didn't mess around with it.
yeah. I didn't.
No.
Even know. I just
No,
saw it.
and
and
I'm
I
not
was like,
gonna.
Interesting.
I'm not
I
kidding.
don't know.
I refuse.
But I was gonna. I had somebody ask me to start doing Q&As, and I said I would start doing them live. But apparently that's not gonna happen for a bit.
Yeah. Well, you get your super chats anyway if you do lives.
Yeah, I don't know. Not for
Yeah.
a few months. But
Which I
that's
did
all
open
right.
up
The,
mine because of Xavier's advice.
Yes, nice. There's they apparently the promoter from the Masters Olympia put out a statement saying, I officially apologize regarding Masters Olympia Japan. I sincerely apologize to all athletes, Olympia owner Mr. Jake Wood, and the IFBB Professional League for the delay in prize money at the Masters Olympia Tokyo 2025. I deeply regret the inconvenience and concern this has caused to Mr. Jake Wood, Olympia Productions LLC, and the IFBB Professional League, and essentially to all athletes who competed. I'm profoundly sorry that Mr. Wood has had to personally advance for payments on my behalf. I am committed to resolving this matter promptly, ensuring that all prize money obligations are fully met and taking all necessary measures to prevent similar issues in the future, blah, blah, blah. And once again, I extend my heartfelt apologies. He just apologizes 50 times and says, yeah, I'll try to pay it, basically. So,
Seems legit.
yeah, at least he owned up. His name is Takayuki Shoji.
Also
Yes,
seems
Soji. Yes. Well, I did a podcast with Phil Clayher about all that, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I might do an interview of Takayuki. No, not really. Not necessary.
I like old
It'd
Phil
be interesting.
Clayher, you know. I think he got a bad shake at that whole somebody sticking a microphone in his face when he was upset is all that happened there. I'm not talking about the payment stuff. I'm just mean, you guys know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I know
No,
what
look,
you're saying.
that's why I did another podcast with Phil. I saw some people, they were surprised that I had Phil back on. They were like, well, isn't Phil over on that side of things? I was like, it's not like that, man. Like,
No.
it's
That's why
just
I'm
not.
not like that either. I always hated that. It's like, I don't like that
Yeah.
person, so you shouldn't like them too. It's like, you can like anybody you want.
Yeah, no, like Phil told me that he said that some people were like, "Why are you going back on his show?" And we know who he was talking about, right? And it's just like, it's not about this person doesn't like this person. It was about the fact that Phil was still waiting for his money and didn't get paid yet. That's what it was about. And I'm with you, Mark. Like, I like Phil. I'm good with Phil. Yeah. I got no problem with Phil at all.
No reason
man.
just to have beef because one person talks to another person that doesn't get on well with you or vice versa. Like that, then that shit is so dumb. Like Lee Priest said it good as well. He went on Muscle Discord and he like promoted the thing when Phil, when the other athletes weren't paid, and I'm like, fair enough. It's like just because some people might not like someone, it doesn't mean that maybe 90% of the stuff they say is crap or whatever. But it doesn't mean they can't have a good point and actually whether there's an ulterior motive there or whatever, there is still the point that these athletes weren't paid, and you helped highlight it, Kenson. And I think it was anyone who did highlight it's probably the right thing to do because the athletes deserve to get paid. And I heard as well that the money was meant to be put into escrow for these competitions and stuff. So there's been some sort of fall down there. So does it all fall upon, it obviously is on the promoter, but it's also on, the pro league, because I thought that was actually something that was in place. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they changed it, so it just wasn't publicly put out there. But yeah, it was good that it was highlighted because it needed to be.
Now, have you heard about the 2012 Masters? Because I looked for information on that. I can't find any information on it.
Oh, Dexter, I know about that. Dexter didn't get all his money. Dennis James didn't get all his money.
He was supposed to get 75,000. Remember I told you, Kenson?
Holy shit.
I looked it up. It was 75,000 he was supposed to get.
I heard he only got like 25, 35, something like that. Which sucks. Imagine that just ripped off 40 grand, or 35
after
grand.
Taxes, that's all you're going to get anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
You get way less than half.
I'd still want that. I'd still want that on my books, though. I mean, having to write that off is even worse. Like, it's not worse necessarily, but yeah, I don't know, man. Well, the thing with Phil, like, anybody that I can have on in order to have, an engaging conversation, and exchange idea, like the thing, like you said, Xavier, about some of this stuff being in escrow, right? Me and Phil were able to talk about some of the scenarios that could be a potential solution for the promoter having to show they have the funds up front, right? And that's good conversation in bodybuilding. Those are just conversations that I like to have, being in business myself. So that's just it, right? That's what it comes down to. If I can have someone on and have, good conversation, just like Eric coming on. Eric's just a fan of bodybuilding, man. Like, guy's got almost 2 million followers on Instagram, granted, just loves bodybuilding. So let's talk some. That's what it's all about, dude.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch those videos I made of him just in case I said anything. I don't think I said anything bad about him, but every time that happens, though, I'm on a podcast on your channel, always on your channel. Like, oh, you got so and so coming on. I'm like, oh, I better watch this video here. Like Bob.
Yeah, I wonder if I said anything they might have an issue with,
Bob, I see one few snippets of your video, he said. And I'm like, oh no, what snippet did he see? Oh no.
You forget what you say too,
I'm always kind of respectful for him, and I do kind of mention Bob can take it. He gets it. So, and I'm not saying he's a piece of crap. He should be fired.
Like some people.
You know what I mean. I never try to.
I know exactly what you mean.
Try to discredit other channels or anything like that. Like me and Superset Man, we do the same type of content, but we work together. We don't try to throw each other at a business or whatever some people might say or suggest. It's like, you can, even if you had the EI or AI or whatever the frig you call it, work with me. Say, let's check and see if Marx Max was right on this comparison. work together. You know,
Yeah.
both channels grow.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mark, you've encouraged me to do comparisons. You
Yes,
know,
I always
all the
encourage you guys
time,
to do comparisons.
all the time, man. In fact, I did one. It's going to be coming out soon.
Now the
Hell
size
yeah.
police and all the experts can get on your case.
Can't wait. Yeah,
Now
can't
those
wait.
people do get mad, but you know what? Their anger does never lasts.
No,
You got that
Yeah.
one wrong. You're an idiot, Max Muscle. And then they forgive you.
that's right. They're always coming back. They hit that subscribe button. They come back and watch the next video. They're there to comment about it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's probably just because you said something about one of their favorite bodybuilders, and they're going to go into back to them no matter what. So they're going to find some reason for your video to be wrong.
I do try to pick and choose. Like Nick Walker, I allow myself a couple of insults every time. Not too bad, but he told Tony O'Burton he was the size of one of his legs. So if he can dish it out, surely he can take it.
Yeah.
Now, Samson, I don't, because he doesn't dish it out. Samson doesn't say anything bad about anybody.
Yeah.
So
No.
And that's what Eric said as well.
Yeah.
If people want to talk about other people and say certain things, and then you say a similar or something about them and they get upset, it's like, well, you're a hypocrite. You know, like, or you're just gonna, well, I don't know. Sometimes I find that funny when guys like, I'm like, you dish it out harder than I gave it to you and you're upset at me. I'm like,
it's
okay.
the disher outers that usually can't take it, which is funny. You guys were mentioning earlier, you guys will do the odd video that's not quite a ray of sunshine. And it seems you guys get more comments, more backlash than the real negative people. Because it's
Sometimes.
like one little neg. I remember you made a Sean Roden video. That was 5-6 years ago. Yeah. And everybody attacked you. And it's like, he didn't say anything bad. He's speaking the truth here. All you said was...
I was more showing what other people were saying too.
Yes. And you got attacked. I'm like, that's the
but you know what?
only
They got a
thing
shitload of views.
that more...
That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off, right?
Like
you're trading your...
about 350,000 views, that one, I think. 360, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big one. I had to delete it, though, because I got that YouTube thing and I got paranoid that they made me delete like over 100 videos. So,
did you have a copyright claim on it?
I had a bunch of claims.
I've had claims.
Someone attacked my account, I think. I know who it was. You know how people can pay for bots and stuff to just attack your account. So I think someone did that, and then YouTube's terms are very vague. So it says like you can't reuse things off or content from other social medias. I'm like, that's literally 98% of YouTube channels. Like, don't like it. So it's very vague in that way. So anything where I wasn't reacting to a video directly and I just put a clip in of a minute or something, I was like, I just deleted all those videos. So I deleted, I think, about 150, which was most of my really heavily viewed ones too. So it's like my total views on YouTube just went like down by millions. I was like, that sucks.
I did the exact same thing a long time ago when I got my first strike. Because I had all these video clips, like Lee Haney posing or whatever. I had a few side-by-side videos, and a lot of them had claims on them, and I was just ignoring them. It's a copyright claim. Yeah. And I have done videos on my other channel where I took pieces from it, because I had a whole video on Superstar Billy Graham that I had on one channel. I'm like, I'm going to put this on my wrestling channel. And on that channel, I got a copyright claim. It said, somebody else is taking this clip. I'm like, yeah, me. But it let me know. So there's probably channels that get those, like somebody's using a piece of your footage, and they're just going to ignore it. Because I've got,
I never get those copyright.
There's weird like channels that have used clips from my videos. And I'm like, I watch it, and it's like, I don't care. That's not taking anything out of me. So I just whatever.
Yeah, I've had them.
I've got a copyright strike now.
Yes, all you guys got one. That's
right.
I got one myself a long time ago. I know what it's all about.
Yep. Me and Xavier both within minutes of each other.
Yes.
Is yours been taken off, Kenson?
No, not yet. Yours?
I thought you deleted your video, Kenson.
No. Mine got taken down right after the strike. But the other live that I had, I did take down. Yeah,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking.
I took mine down
That's what I
too.
mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it down
Yeah.
because they can strike you multiple times at once, and it's like if you get 3 strikes like that, you can be done.
You're
Or
out.
at
You're
least have
done.
to fight it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah, you're done, right? So that's why I wanted to start changing up the format on my channel a little bit. And I think that you could look at that as, yeah, okay, that sucks. Like you got the strike, but what can I really do with this now? What can I do to kind of make this a little bit of a different situation for myself, my channel? Maybe this is an opportunity to have some improvement. Maybe it's just a reality check that these shows can't be live streamed the way that they always were. That's an extreme possibility. I mean, Xavier, you've been through it multiple times now. Like,
Legion.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Legion.
yeah,
They
That's
did 2 of
good,
mine
they-
at once. That scared me big time because I had 2 strikes.
yes,
That.
right. Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret
Oh,
that the
man.
lives is where you get the most views, you get the most subscribers, you get the most engagement,
Yeah.
and they are
Yeah.
honestly the most fun to do. I love doing them. I love
Yeah,
doing
you guys-
those lives.
You guys got quarter of a million views or more. That's
No
crazy.
problem.
That's
No
awesome.
problem. But there's a trade-off. But I think that, and Xavier, this is something that I wanted to talk to you about. I do think that there is a path forward, and I do think that this is just another opportunity in order to improve. And lessen your overall potential liability. So we'll chat about that some more. But look, at the end of the day, like, both of us are going to be fine. These things happen. This is just part of the game on YouTube. It's part of it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing, man. And the thing is, it makes you like aware, like, hey, and if you can go away at one time, so maybe diversifying and creating a bit more of an Instagram presence or whatever, like maybe doing something
Yep.
like that, because especially I think as well in the content that we do versus what Mark does, like Mark, you might piss some people off to a certain degree, but you're not quoting something they said or talking shit about someone else or whatever.
No,
People can
they
get
might-
very
yeah.
upset with that stuff and threaten to
They-
sue you.
they
I had
just-
one guy once. I had his photos or something in my video, and I credited him in the comments and all this sort of stuff. He was like, "I'm going to sue you," and going nuts at me. I was like, "Dude," I'm like, he's like, "You need to take that down and re-upload it and then say this in the video." I'm like, "I'm not going to do that." I'm not taking the whole contest wrap up down and doing that because I used 3 of your photos. Like he just went nuts.
Yeah,
So
it's
stuff like that's
almost-
just unpleasant.
It's almost like
It
they
is.
think they're worth so much more than they really are. It's like, well, how much money do you
Yeah.
think you're going to make off these photos if you keep them to yourself? Xavier Wills is sharing them with the world. I mean,
I had his Instagram in the bio and everything. I try to always do that. I use NPC News Online or Gilco or whatever. Like, and I try to
Yep.
use less of that now as well, just so I'm not, abusing that or whatever. So I try to just put a little bit in there and have the Gilco logo on there and then put it in the comments, like footage courtesy of, and you're doing that
yeah.
that stuff. And that's a lot of that's fair use, to be honest. If you're going to try to fight it legally, a lot of it's fair use. So
Well, there was
Yeah,
a guy
it's the fact-
showing.
Well,
The guy showing the Prague when you guys got stricken down. He was showing the live.
oh, I
And
think
it's
they're
still
still
up
they're
there.
still up.
it's
full
still
live
up.
streams.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. The fuck was I just gonna say? I don't know. Here
Live
and gone.
streaming contest, future, diversifying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. Where you were saying about like Gilco content and stuff like that. There's paths forward on that as well, and that's part of what it's part of what we can discuss. This is again it's just all part of it, man. It's just all part of
Yeah.
it, and things do change. Things that YouTube especially continuously changes. Things that you could do 2-3 years ago you can't do now. Nick Trigili is potentially coming back on YouTube. Everyone thought he was gone for life. It's changed.
Is that happening or not?
Well, they changed the policy, so apparently he could do it. Yeah, I made a video on it because he made a reel saying that he was out of YouTube jail, and I still haven't seen anything. He said, "Wait for the announcement next week," and that was like 2 weeks ago. So there's a delay on that too. But
Will it be the same content?
I think it'll be worse.
I hate to say it, but I did watch him, and there's other negative channels but like we were talking about, he wasn't making stuff up. Like some of these channels, they'll make something up. Nick
Once he
actually,
did, once
what's his
there was
name,
something
jumped
made
out of
up,
the
but he got
window,
better.
or the Australian guy there. You probably know him, Xavier.
Oh, Callum Lamoga. Yeah,
Yeah, he
Callum
went
Lamoga.
flying out of the window. He really did do that.
Yeah,
Now,
he
should
did.
he have
Yeah.
been reporting about it? Probably not. But it is real.
That was on the news here. There was no way of avoiding that. That was going to come out no
Yeah.
matter what, that one. Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
reported on that if I was quick enough to it, you know.
Yeah,
Because
Palumbo
that
did.
was like
Yeah.
literally on the news.
Quick. It was quick. And he
Yeah.
loved making fun of Callum for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes I think
Yeah.
it was too much. I'm like, come on, this guy's like on the edge, you know, like maybe give him a
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
That's
No,
actually why I didn't report on the Callum stuff, you know. I left it alone. So
Yeah, I felt for him, man. I've seen him driving around on a scooter, smoking cigarettes. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
I saw some videos that went up on his YouTube that were deleted hours later, and I'm like,
Oh,
like
He
that
was-
people didn't pick up on. I
he was
had
up
one
here,
recorded.
man.
I was like,
There
he
was
was
some
up
bad ones,
here.
man.
He was playing Arnold in movies. He was
hmm.
so, he was big to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows obviously drugs were like a massive downfall in that. Like I think it's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
obvious, like you know,
Oh,
from
yeah.
what everyone
Drugs and
saw, and
alcohol
then
can kill you, ruin you.
yeah. Well, that's what sadly happened to his brother, you know. Like there was a
Yeah,
video
that's
of his
right,
brother,
yeah.
like, you know, I won't go into it, but yeah, there's videos online. You can just tell obviously he was not in a good way, you know what I mean? Like it was, yeah, I don't know if you saw that car video where he smashed that guy's window and stuff. Like I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, unfortunately drugs got it. Yeah, it was crazy. Not Callum was his brother, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
But
was
like you said-
crazy though.
Yeah, but Xavier, like you said, you left that alone, you know, like it's
Yeah.
some content is just not worth the trade-off, you know, when it comes to I do it fairly often. Like there's topics that come up and it's like, do I want to cover this? No, I don't. You know, could it be a shit ton of views? Yeah. But I just don't want the views as much as I want to maintain my level of comfort when I lay down my head to sleep at night. You know, it's just not about that for me, man. You know, some people do it and I'm watching it. I'm watching it now. Channels that throw that shit out there. And I'm like, fuck, man, these guys are getting like 100 subscribers a video and like 50,000 views. And I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. You know, that could be me.
Yeah.
it's funny.
And I've done, like I said, I've done
Not
drama
worth it.
content, but some of it, like, yeah, some of
It's
like,
within
the amount of
context.
stuff that I hear, like, okay, something I can't say what it is because I'm not reporting it. But there was
Exactly.
something on the weekend, and I was like, holy shit, I would get, I reckon it's a video that would get hundreds of thousands of views, but it would start
And you
a
know,
lot of shit,
in the
be a lot
hands of
drama.
certain people. Yep, certain people in the hands of it, they would put it out there.
A lot of people would have put out there something I got from somewhere this weekend, and I'm like, I don't think, and I know it would get bulk views, but it's just not worth it. I was like, it's too much of a blight on probably bodybuilding and other things, and I'm like, it's not worth reporting.
It's funny when
This
I
is
do
what-
videos like that, they over half the time they don't get nothing. Like I'll do a video of something, the guy shoved the guy at the gym or something. I'll get a hard 10 on it, 10 out of the worst out of them. And it's like, I did it, and there'd probably you guys watching and thinking, old Marx Max trying to cash in, and he didn't work for him, but it'll work sometimes. But I never try to be too greasy in them.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is as well, people go to your channel mostly they're like, Mark has the comparisons, and they see this for like, because I think when your usual subscribers don't click on it, then it just pushes the video down to like a 10 or a 9 or something. It sucks.
Yeah.
So you really got to have on brand sort of content, unless it's something like completely out of the box, where.
And those
There's certain things that
videos,
still
my
can go
fans
viral.
they don't want to see that. It's like I'm trying to tap into a different group.
This
You
is
guys have a
why
separate channel, Mark's Max Controversy.
Max conspiracies. Yeah.
Making fun
Yeah.
of Israel every once in a while. That's as greasy as I get, and I don't
Yeah.
feel bad about that. And
No.
I'm sure he doesn't give a crap either. He probably thinks it's funny. And I say he has a good midsection. I switched his midsection with Dorian Yates and Phil Heath, and he has a better midsection. So there you go.
Look, this is why we gather where we do, and with the people that we do, and it's the kind of audience that we have as well. If I was to do videos like that, people would be like, "That's kind of weird. Like, why are you even doing that at this point, right? Like, you build yourself to a certain reputation as well, right? And it's not about reputations, but it's more it's not about reputations or meeting expectations, but not for your audience, but for yourself. That's what it comes down to, and being genuine about it as well. People recognize that, and if people want to tune in to certain channels to just watch a train wreck that you can't look away from, okay, I get that too, I do, but it's just not how we do things around here.
I like the way John Bravo does it. He really takes down some pieces of shit,
I like John.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, I've been watching that for a while.
Pizza shit. Yeah. He's kind of smooth about it, eh? He's got a way about him. He does.
And the way he does it, it's comedic, you know what I mean?
Up and he's got his tank top and his little muscles out, and big little muscles.
Yeah. It's very dramatic,
Yeah. Look at this piece of shit. He's walking around with his man bag, his handbag, beating up 30 men. I mean, I never could. The way he says it, it's like, it's
he's
comedy.
good, man.
And legally, he does it smart too, because I think he even said on one of his stories once, and he said about some people trying to sue him and stuff. And then he said, oh, well, actually, like, when it's a comedic whatever, like, because he's doing comedy, it's like you're actually allowed to do these things. It's not so much defamation, it's comedy. I'm like, very smart, John. I like that. And it is comedy. It's funny as hell. And he knows what he's doing. He's very, very smart about it. And he does it in a way that, while it's comedy as well, he's taken down some guys that are sort of are piece of shits,
He gets it on both. He gets the best of both worlds, essentially. Yeah. He does. Yeah, he's good, man. I do like his channel. I started watching him when he was about 50,000 subscribers. I think it was around there. So it was before he really took off, He's good. I like his channel. Yeah.
Did you start watching him when the Milos thing went down with me and him? When he put that video
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah.
I think they got about 40,000 views or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. No, he's
I wish it was when he took off and it got like 400,000, yeah.
He's really blew up with views lately.
Oh man, the whole Wes Watson thing, right?
Yeah,
that's where it took off. I looked at some of that content too, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I didn't get my toes into that water either.
No, it's just
if I can find a comparison out of it, I'll do it. If I can squeeze a comparison out of here.
Does Wes Watson have any posing footage or photos?
Guaranteed not. No, guaranteed not. It's like people that ask you to do Stallone. It's like, well, I can't.
I've done Chuck Norris versus Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds versus Chuck Norris. I'm telling you right now, that's on my channel somewhere. Buried.
Really?
I had to tell them no more weird comparisons like that, folks.
Just doesn't work.
Did it get views?
Burt Reynolds, I'm telling you.
Did it get views?
No.
Okay.
I've done Jason Momoa versus The Rock. John Cena. Yeah. If I can get a couple of poses, I will do it, but for the most part. But Stallone, I did an entire Stallone, his whole history of his physique. Like, when did he look the best? And it was pretty interesting, I thought. It sucked, though. I think it got like a hard 10.
Really? Oh. See, that sounds interesting. Some of your videos, Mark, that you get like less views on, they're the ones I enjoy more, which is weird. So I don't know why.
Silhouette, name that bodybuilder.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I like doing
the zoomed in body part one.
That's the first couple I did, and then I did the silhouette version.
Silhouettes were good.
I like the silhouette version.
I don't know if I've seen a silhouette one. I must have missed it.
Ooh, they're good.
I got a super chat on that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were good. I was like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I like the zoomed in body part one. I think is harder when you just have no idea. Like, I know you were saying in the video, you're like, oh, come on, this one's an easy one. I'm like, shit, is this guy or this guy? And because when you zoom in, you're like, well, obviously it's this guy's arm. But when you're like, okay, you're thinking the whole history of bodybuilding, you're like, shit, that could be this guy or this guy. I remember I guessed someone and I was so far off and I was so disappointed in myself.
Kevin Lebroni. Not a lot of people got Lebroni.
Yeah. There's a few there where I was like, okay. And then I went to the comments. People were like, okay, I got 3 out of 10. I'm like, okay, I feel better. I got like 4 or something.
Yeah.
One of them they said was way too hard, and then the last one, I think the silhouette one, was way too easy. Like, well, if you don't know it, then it's hard, and if you do know it, then it's easy. There's no, I had to really think about that one. It's like, well, is it Kai Green or isn't it Kai Green?
Maybe you could, if you're doing silhouettes, you could consider unveiling, revealed a maybe just like the arms or just the legs, right?
Well, what I was doing was I'd put their silhouette on the 2024 Olympia stage, let it sit there for 10, 15 seconds, or Mark's max 10 seconds, which is usually 15 seconds. And then I would reveal the actual background.
Okay.
And I'd say, do you still not know who it is? You can see that it's at the 98 Olympia. Come on.
Okay.
And I would reveal. That's the silhouette one. You should watch that one, Xavier.
I will. How long ago were these?
I don't know.
Not long ago.
No.
Okay. I didn't tune into anyone's YouTube much for a while there, so I'll get back on that.
I honestly haven't had much time to watch anybody's content either.
The only thing I've listened to is like long form podcasts just lately, but I've just been tuning back in the last week, so I've watched some of your recent videos. I
stuck Lee Priest's podcast on there earlier. I was working on a video.
Oh, on Cast?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It's going to be the next one I watch.
That's just come out where Lee Priest and we redo the placings of the top 10s at the Olympia.
Saw it.
That was quite good.
Sure.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah. What did you think of Lee's assessment where he put Derek?
Exactly what I thought it would be. Yep. Perfection.
5,
Yep. Perfection.
He likes Derek.
7th, I think. Yeah.
He said he was like Moses parting the sea because of the water in his arms. Because his arms are so watery. He said,
"Holy shit, man!"
But he says, "Oh, Derek's favorite pose for me is the crucifix pose." And I'm like, because of the religion and stuff.
Oh
God, yeah. Oh man.
Oh shit.
I was going to get Leon with us today, actually, with Eric, but he said he was busy, so we'll get him on the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I actually got to message him today and try to get him on this afternoon later, my time.
Well, I tell you what, you do your thing. Oh, okay, that'll be a good one.
Hopefully, yeah.
That'll be a good one. Well, look, let's wrap it up there. We're over 2 hours now, so all right, that was good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming on.
No worries at all, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, that'll do it for this episode. We'll catch you guys in the next one.